Hello, welcome to Man Cave Media. On this channel, I like to talk about beer, sneakers, tech, and toys. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. So recently, I purchased a few pieces of audio tech for my podcast, and both have finally arrived, so we're going to do some unboxing and a quick review. Let's check them out. Okay, first item up for review today is the Podtrak P4 by Zoom. It is a compact mixer with 4 XLR inputs and 4 headphone inputs. And currently we record my podcast using USB microphones, and that was a cheap and easy way to get started because I already had some USB mics. And there's a free, well, it's donationware. There's a software out there called Voicemeeter, and Voicemeeter makes excellent mixing software. And you pay whatever you feel like you should pay or whatever you can afford to pay. It's a donationware is what they call it. I ended up giving them $40 because the software is really good, and I felt like that was a good number to give them. In reality, if they were to charge for that software, they could get much more than that. And I've gotten my use out of it 100 times over. All right, let's jump in the box here and check out the P4. So right off the bat, we've got some paperwork. I've already watched several review videos on this product, so I'm pretty familiar with how to set it up. But the paperwork, I'm sure, will come in handy. They include 2 AA batteries, and then the unit itself. And it's a very lightweight. The construction overall, I mean, the fit and finish, the quality, it feels really good for the price. Retail for this guy was $199. And I actually missed the first release of this because I was still on the fence about it. And it sold out rather quickly, but I put a stock alert on B&H Photo, and it finally came back into stock around Black Friday, and I was able to grab one. So as I mentioned, it features 4 XLR mic inputs. And then on the bottom, you've got 4 headphone inputs. The headphones have individual volume control. Of course, the microphones have individual gain control as well. These 4 pads right here are just sound pads. They have pre-programmed sounds in them. But you can also add your own sounds. And then this is the volume control for the sound pad. And then the screen is for when you go through the menu settings, which we will. I'll go through how to set this up and do a quick test. And the other reason why I really wanted this was right now during the COVID-19 pandemic, we are actually recording our podcast via Google Meet. And so I'm here live on the microphone, and I have a group of friends that do the podcast with me that join me via Google Meet. And what I like about this mixer is it has the ability to not only take phone calls, but also you can use the computer as an input device. And so on channel 3, for the settings, you have one microphone setting, and then the second setting is for a microphone that requires phantom power. And then on channel 3, you have this third setting. It's got a picture of a phone on it, and that works through the mini jack here on the side. And then on channel 4, you have the same 2 mic settings, but then on the last one you have a USB setting, and that works through this USB-C port on the side here, and that's for use with a PC. And so that's really going to come in handy because we're going to continue to do things this way until the pandemic is over and it's safe for us to meet up in person again. Another thing that I like about this is it is battery operated, and you can use it with a portable battery pack through the USB-C port on the side that has the DC logo above it, the 5 volt DC logo. or you can use it with the batteries, and it will seamlessly switch. So if you have a battery pack that you're using on the USB-C port, and that battery pack dies, you don't have to pause what you're doing or scramble to try to get another battery pack. It will seamlessly switch to the batteries that are installed. So that was a really nice feature that I liked, and that was one of the reasons why I purchased this. Because of the idea that we had about possibly taking our podcast mobile and recording on location in certain places like brew pubs and stuff like that. So that was the main reason for going this route. The other reason why I want to move away from USB and switch to XLR with a mixer is I don't want to be so dependent on my PC. So we've had a couple of incidents where there was a hardware issue with the PC and we ended up losing a bunch of recordings. And that's kind of demoralizing when you're 30 minutes into a podcast and you have a hardware failure and you lose all of that recorded footage because Audacity is unable to recover the file. It's very nerve-wracking after, the few, like 6 or 7 recordings after that happens, you kind of got that anxiety like it's going to happen again. And it's, like I said, it's very demoralizing. You lost 30 minutes of good conversation. You got to start over again. The energy of the room is gone and so on. And so I kind of wanted to move away from the dependency of the PC and have something that can do everything on its own, contained in one unit. And this is perfect for that. So before we move on to testing this, let's unbox the second package. This has been here since around Black Friday, but I was waiting to do the unboxing for this package here. For those of you who have not figured it out, this is an XLR microphone because I don't currently have one. And doesn't look like I need a knife. Nope. Oh, that was smooth. So this is my first XLR microphone. And I went with this because number one, it was recommended for voiceover and podcast work. Number two, we actually have a couple of these at my workplace, and so I'm familiar with the quality. And so I thought it would be safe to start out with this guy. And this particular kit on Amazon included the XLR cable and a pop filter, which, that's nice. I don't normally use pop filters. We don't usually have that issue, but, it's cool that it came with one. The XLR cable, though, I did absolutely need. The brand is Blue Coil. And it's a 10-foot XLR. Get in here. Oh, it also included, this will come in handy later, the multicolored straps, so I can kind of tell. It helps to separate. Like in the past, we've used so we use Yeti microphones, and I purposefully bought different colors so I could kind of tell who's who when we're all in here. It kind of just helps me make sense of who's on what channel in my head. Because I would name the channels on my virtual mixer as such: Red Yeti, Blue Yeti, Silver Yeti, etc. Here's the pop filter, also Blue Coil. Pretty cool. As I said, we don't normally use pop filters. And then the microphone itself. This is a Samson C01 studio condenser microphone. This came highly recommended for, like I said, for voiceover and for podcasters. And as I mentioned, we have one of these. We have several of these at work, actually, so I figured it would be kind of a safe bet for me to start with this guy. Now, while this microphone is affordable, it's not the cheapest option. After I bought this microphone, I was actually looking around on YouTube and whatnot for other reviews for other types of microphones. And I came across a few others that I'll probably give a shot because they are more affordable, and I need 4 microphones total. So now I need 3 more with this guy. And we are a small operation. We've only got 50 or so followers that listen on a regular basis. And so, we're not making any money from the podcast. We're doing it just for fun as a hobby. And so I don't like to invest a ton of money into this stuff because I'm not getting anything in return other than it's a fun hobby and I get satisfaction out of that. But it's hard to justify putting a bunch of money into something that you don't get anything in return. I'll pull that out. All right, so I like that the microphone comes with this nice little carrying case because, again, as I mentioned, we've had the idea in the past about taking this podcast mobile and, recording on location in some of our favorite brew pubs and stuff like that. So this is the microphone, Samson C01. Comes in this nice silver color. It's got some heft to it a little bit. It's not heavier than a Yeti. Build quality seems to be pretty good. Some paperwork. Warranty info. The usual stuff. One thing that I have not purchased yet that I will definitely need is a shock mount. And they do make one specially designed for this. It's on the box there. The spider mount. Oh, there it is. The spider mount is what they call it. Or spider style shock mount, rather. All right, so let me get some of this stuff squared away. I'll hook up the Zoom Podtrak and we will get started with the test. It's always nice when they use twist ties rather than zip ties, because then I don't have to grab scissors or anything like that and to get in here. That was very nice of them. Thank you, Blue Coil. I will put links to where I purchased all of this stuff. Just in case, if anybody's in the same situation that I am, started out with the podcast using USB mics and you'd want to transition over to XLR, I'll put links to all this stuff where I was able to find the best price. A lot of people take Amazon's pricing as gospel. Don't do that. This setup is actually really affordable and available at multiple locations, and sometimes the warranty is better and it's a little less sketchy than buying it on Amazon, so just don't take Amazon for gospel. Let me grab a memory card and we will get started with this. All right, that took forever. My apologies. Actually, it probably didn't take that long, but when you got the camera rolling, it seems like an eternity. So just for this test, we're going to go with battery power. Uh-oh, did they send me some dead batteries? Oh, there we go. All right, nope, user error. No worries. Let's get this memory card in here and get it formatted. All right, we got the date set. Now let's go through the menu and format the card really quick. It's only a 64 gigabyte card, so it shouldn't take long to... Yep, it's already done. All right. I was also, as I mentioned, I went through and watched several videos about the Podtrak P4, and it was recommended that you turn off the auto power off. And so let's go ahead and disable that. Grab my headphones. All right. So for this next bit, we're going to switch over to the Samson mic going through the Podtrak P4. Mic check, mic check. Okay, this is the Samson C01 microphone going through the Podtrak P4. Sounds really good. I like it a lot. Sound coming through the headphones is really good. I am very excited to use this setup for my podcast. Sounds really good. So the controls are pretty straightforward as far as setting it up for record. All I did basically was hit the record button and it started recording right away. Let's see, what are some of these pre-recorded sound pads here? Let's turn up the volume on this guy. I don't know where's 0 out. Oh, there it is. Okay. Whoa. That's pretty funny. There we go. That was A. This is B. I feel like I'm gonna do a talk show. All right, this is C. Oh, audience applause. I like that. And finally D. Rim shot. This is good. That's gonna come in handy. All right, that concludes our quick test of the Podtrak P4. All right, so I'm really happy with that test. It sounds really good. Very excited to start using this stuff in my podcast. When I'm able to do so, I want to do a test call with this thing before we do our next live recording. Well, it's not really live, but before we do our next recording for an actual episode, which will be New Year's Eve, I would like to do a quick test call using Google Meet, and so maybe I'll record that and do another review of that function. So hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see that. Overall, my thoughts on the build quality of the P4. The fit and finish is really nice. The knobs feel really good. Sound is excellent. I like that the low cut filter is already enabled by default because I'm going to forget to do that. And it also, one thing I didn't talk about for using the computer and for taking a phone call, it has a mix minus feature, which is excellent. And for this price point, for something like this, to have that feature at this price point is excellent value for the money. So I'm really excited to get this in use. The sound pads are pretty fun. I don't know how much I'll actually use them. Like I said, I kind of get the feel that I'm a talk show host with the included sounds. So I'm not sure how often I'm actually going to use those and incorporate that into the podcast, but we'll see. Play around with it. You can add sounds as well. The one thing that's tricky is because it has its own independent volume, the volume works for all 4 pads. So if you're going to add sounds to those pads, you want to make sure that they're the same volume because you don't want to have to remember to adjust the volume before you hit that pad if you're recording. So just a little tip. I would be aware of that. Scrolling through the menu is very intuitive. It's very easy to use. The screen is nice and bright. It's a monochrome screen, no color or anything like that, but the colors are very bright. Controls are really easy to use. Like I said, I watched a few YouTube videos before doing this, and so I already had a pretty good idea of how to set it up. But I mean, navigating the menu and getting everything set up, really straightforward, really easy. Nothing too difficult. Excellent for beginners and excellent if you want to be mobile. Nice, neat little package. Easy to toss in a bag or buy a ballistics case to carry it around in. And I mean, you're good to go. Throw it all in a bag and head to wherever you're going to record. So nice little unit. As far as the microphone is concerned, I've already had experience using this microphone. So I'm already aware of its sound quality. So for the price point, the retail on this guy was $79 for this entire kit that included the XLR cable and the pop filter. And so I mean that's excellent value. You're getting a really good microphone at that price point. As I said, I looked at other reviews and I did find other options for a lower price that also got really good reviews and were really highly recommended for voiceover and for podcasting. And so I will probably give those a try. Just from an affordability standpoint, like I said, I don't like putting a lot of money into this because it is just a hobby. It's something I do for fun. So I will be trying other options, but the Samson mic, the C01, is an excellent microphone. So if you're looking to get into, or if you're already doing a podcast and you use USB microphones like I was, and you're looking to switch over to XLR, this might be a good way to start out. All right, that's all I have for this one. Thanks again for stopping by. Follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram at media.mancave, on Facebook at mancavemedia, and on Twitter at mancavemedia.org. Also, if you enjoy listening to podcasts, please check out The League of Sedentary Gentlemen. We're available on Spotify, YouTube Music, iTunes, or direct from our website at man-cave-media.org. We are currently on a winter break, so to speak. We take the month of December off because with the family activities that I do, it's tough to carve out some time each week to do any recording. So we just go ahead and call it for the month of December, and that's kind of like our break in between seasons. And our new season will start first Tuesday of January. I hope you have a good afternoon, and like always, thank you for watching.